Christensen, Junker, and Lingen, your three drivers here in Rookie Cage tonight. There's Lingen's 21. Again, this is just a learning class for these young drivers. They're not really concentrating. They're just concentrating on quality laps, hitting your mark every time. Dad says in here, turn out here, or, you know, whether Grandpa's the leader or an uncle, that everybody is teaching these youngsters how to drive this sport. And one day we'll see him in an R-Box or a BP wing or all the way up to the Go for Midget series before it's all said and done. Checkered flag is going to wave, and our heat race session for our Rookie Cage will come to a close. And they'll exit the Speedway off of turn number 4 and pass right in front of the hillside and the grandstand. A little bit of a challenge to get these guys to make that uphill drive up the banking, then turn through the gate, slow down, and make their way along the walkway there. All right, let's put wings on carts, and here comes our box. Here's your R-Box heat, R-Box feature, now this is the heat race on the pole, the 88E, that's Barrett Evans, to the outside, the 19X, that's Onyx Webb. Row number 2 inside, 22, that's Dirks LeBlond. To the outside, the 19H of Henrik Hallrud. Row number 3 on the inside, the 13 of Julian Logslet. To the outside, the 34 of Brantley Langer. And in that fourth and final row, the 21, that is Jack Smith. A little bit of work being done on Logslet's 13, trying to get that R-Box fired. No luck so far, and so Julian will head to the infield. Disappointed, I'm certain, with that. Never want to roll out, come around to the front stretch, get lined up, and then all of a sudden the motor won't go. Evans and Webb, LeBlond, Hollerud, Langer, and Smith. 6 cars, 8 laps. Green flag will wave off of turn 4, and we're going green, 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 and they fan out 3, 4 wide down the front straightaway. Headed into 1 and 2. Langer coming hard and fast on the inside of the 34. It's Evans, Langer side by side with LeBlond. Langer now into the second spot. He comes from the 3rd row all the way up to 2nd. Brantley Langer to challenge Barrett Evans. Here comes LeBlond back in the mix on the outside. 3-car battle at the front of this field. Langer again, looking to the inside on Evans. Got a little better run this time. Pulls up alongside. Langer's going to get to the lead. LeBlond's going to follow him through to the inside. LeBlond coming into 2nd spot. Now LeBlond way to the inside, trying to get inside on Langer. trying to use that off camber on the bottom of the racetrack just a little bit to try to slingshot him toward the lead. Now Langer has started to pull away, and the battle for third will start to pick up now. Onyx Webb in that green and black 19X now coming up on Evans. That's for third place. Langer and LeBlanc 1 and 2. The battle is for third. And Holroyd is right there as well. Henrik trying to get in the mix. Now Evans and Webb. Webb coming to the outside on Evans, trying to make the pass for third. White flag will be coming when they come to the start-finish line this time. One more time to the checkered flag coming. And Langer wins it, followed by LeBlanc, Evans, Webb, and Holroyd. First of 2 heat races. And here comes the second. On the pole, it'll be the 5S of Sammy Pettit. To the outside, the 17, that's Josiah Hoffbeck. Number 2 on the inside, the 3J, that's Paxton Friedrich. Outside, he's battling for the championship. He comes in with a 56-point advantage. The 4, that is Luke Pettit. Row number 3 inside, that's the 60JR. That's Mila Baker. That's Mila Baker. And to the outside, the 22T, that's the other LeBlanc. That is Theo LeBlanc. And then starting in the 4th and final row, that is the 12 of Carter Knudsen. Field will get lined up before we turn them loose. Here they come, side by side, nose to tail. Pettit, Hoffbeck. Lead them down to the green flag. Luke Pettit on the outside of the 4. Jumps in behind Sammy. So it's 5-4, Pettit and Pettit. Hoffbeck runs third. Not for long, here comes Friedrich. Friedrich and the 3J moving into the 3 spot. Pettit holds the advantage. Sammy in the 5, Luke in the 4. Remember, Luke comes in as the points leader with a 56-point advantage. Now here comes Luke to the inside. Side by side through 3 and 4. A little sideways they shuffle, but Pettit slides through. Luke to the race lead. Luke out front. Friedrich working on that 3rd spot. And Hoffbeck, Josiah Hoffbeck in that 17. Halfway home, 4 down, 4 to go. Still Luke Pettit out in front, and he's running much quicker lap times than everybody else. Just about 3/4 of a second faster. Pettit pushing the advantage. Battle still raging for third. Hoffbeck trying to get around Friedrich. Friedrich in that 3J. Hoffbeck in the 17. White flag for Pettit. Final time around. Luke Pettit off of 4 to the checkers, and the heat race win in the 2nd of our March 2. Sammy Pettit comes home 2nd in that 5S, then Friedrich, Hoffbeck, and Baker. Alumni Night and double points on championship night. And we move to BP Wing and the first of 2 heat races. On the pole, it'll be the 16 of Oakley Booth. To the outside, the 7S, that's Easton Schultz. Row number 2 on the inside, the 7 DJR. Out of Menominee, that's Kinsley Schmutz to her outside. The 14 from Randolph, Minnesota, that's Archer Hoffbeck. He comes in as the points leader heading into tonight's competition. We get ready to go green. Out front it's Booth. Battle between the 7s for 2nd and 3rd. Schmutz and Schultz. Schmutz into the 2nd spot in that white with pink 7 DJR. That orange and yellow 7, that belongs to Schultz. And now Schultz gives up 3rd. As Hoffbeck starts to move, Archer up into the 3rd spot. Trouble. The 15 of Brandon Stevens goes around but gets it going. And we stay green. Coming to halfway. Hoffbeck now trying to work that battle for the lead. For 2nd with Schmutz. 4 down and 4 to go. Booth, your leader. Schmutz, then Hoffbeck, Baker, and Schultz, your top 5. Hoffbeck trying to find a way around Schmutz. Little nudge coming out of 2. Dives to the inside, trying to make the pass, and does. Hoffbeck now all alone in 2nd. White flag coming for the leader, Oakley Booth. Booth with an over 2-second advantage of that battle for 2nd. Here comes Oakley off of 4. Checkers will weigh, and Oakley Booth will win heat race number 1 in BP Wing. Followed by Hoffbeck, Schmutz, Baker, and Schultz, your top 5. Quick reminder for folks in the pit area, nobody in the infield unless you're on a 4-wheeler pushing a go-kart or the rookie class parent. No other pit people are allowed in the infield. Make sure, midget drivers, you need a 4-wheeler to get that car up onto the track. So make sure, guys, that we're handling those kind of things here tonight. Timberline, the Timber Inn Bar and Grill, and T&K Fireworks sponsoring tonight's Alumni Night and Season Championship. And here comes BP Heat Race number 2, Jonathan Pettit the 3rd on the pole of the 3J. Henry Junker, your reigning R-Box champion. On the outside, the 36, Brandon Jiragi and Alan Byrne in row 2. Harper Halapka and Owen Malgrim. Otto Erickson rounds out the field. Heading out to the early advantage. Battle for 2nd starting to shape up between Byrne and Junker. Jonathan Pettit out in front in the 3J. Henry Junker and then Alan Byrne in that battle for 2nd and 3rd. Otto Erickson runs in the 4 spot in the 32. And then Halapka, Malgrim, and Uragi. Halapka trying to make a move, and does. Gets to the inside on Jiragi. Pettit the 3rd, still the leader. And a sizable advantage there, about 1.3 seconds. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there together. That's Junker, Byrne, and Erickson. Otto started near the back, has now worked his way into the 4 spot. Coming to the white flag. 1 to go. Final time around for Jonathan Pettit the 3rd. Pettit to the checkers, and the heat race win. Jonathan Pettit the third, picking up the win. And away goes Sportsman Racing. Here's how the Sportsman will start in the pole from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. That is the 74 of Jake Johnson. To his outside, the 105 out of Rock Falls, Wisconsin. That is Ashton Hinchin. Row number 2 from Rock Falls, Wisconsin. That is Trayton Velchek in that 55. Trayton comes in as the points leader in Sportsman. And on the outside, the 27, that's Henry Schoes out of Menominee. Henry's currently third in the point standings. Top 3 in the points in this heat race here tonight. Velchek in the 55, Johnson the 74, Schoes in that 27. They're 1-3, and here we go. Off of 4, green flag racing. Johnson's going to have the early advantage with Hinchin on the outside. Velchek trying to come to the inside in the 55. Side by side, Velchek and Hinchin stay that way. Now Velchek loses a little bit of ground, and Hinchin clears and is now all alone in second. Johnson by himself at the front of the field here in the Sportsman heat race. Hinchin runs second. Here comes Velchek, closing the gap again. Hinchin with a quick look over his shoulder to see where Trayton is. Trayton's got him on the inside. Can he make the pass? Not quite yet. Maybe one more corner. Down off the bottom of 3 and 4, and Velchek clears. And now he's all alone in second. Hinchin back to third. Schoes runs fourth. Jake Johnson out in front. Has got himself about a half-second lead in that 74. Johnson, Velchek, Hinchin, 1, 2, and 3 at the front of this field. Johnson came into tonight second in the point standings behind Velchek. But remember, it's championship night and double points. Checkered flag will be up next. Checkered flag going to wave for Jake Johnson. Johnson picks up the win in the Sportsman heat race, followed by Velchek, Hinchin, and Schoes. Get our friends from Timber Inn Bar and Grill sponsoring tonight's racing, and T&K Fireworks with a little bit of championship pyrotechnics for tonight. We appreciate that. Mod BP Wing Intermediate getting set to roll, and your lineup for the Mod BP Wing heat. On the pole, he is the current points leader from Trempealeau, Wisconsin. That's the 8X of Alan Byrne. To the outside, currently second. Now remember, this is the close one. Only 8 points, if I remember right. Looking at my point sheet, just 8 points separate these two drivers, and they start side by side on the front row. The 44, that's Reese Smith out of Stanley, Wisconsin. Row number 2, the 27 from Eau Claire, that's Xander Glumsky. To the outside, the 8 from Colfax, Wisconsin, that's Kennedy Klukas. And starting in the third and final row from Randolph, Minnesota, that's the 14 of Archer Hoffbeck. Byrne and Smith separated by 8 points coming into tonight. It's win, and you win the title just about. Heat race time here in Mod BP Wing Intermediate. Byrne and Smith side by side as they come off of 4, and the green flag. Not yet. One more time. Field picks up the pace off of 4. Green flag is in the air. We're underway with 8 laps of heat racing. Trouble for Kennedy Klukas. Slows at the start. Smith grabs the early advantage as we put one in the books. And now here comes Byrne back on the inside. Hoff back up in the middle as well. Smith now back up front. This is going to be a great battle at the front with these three. Byrne, Smith, and Hoffbeck running 1, 2, and 3 at the front of this Mod BP wing. Now Hoffbeck pulls back just a little bit, and Alan Byrne continues to hold the advantage over Reese Smith. Hoffbeck now trying to put a couple of good laps together and close the gap here as we hit halfway. Halfway home in this 8-lap heat race. Byrne, Smith, and Hoffbeck coming to 2 to go. White flag will be in the air next time by, and now Alan Byrne is starting to open it up. The battle for second heating up just a little bit between Reese Smith and Archer Hoffbeck, and Hoffbeck now to the pass on Smith into second. Final time around to the checkers comes Alan Byrne. He'll be your winner, followed by Hoffbeck and Smith. Alan Byrne picks up the win. On Alumni Night, remember championship night is double points here at the Speedway. And we go to 125, 250 wing. Holden Harder out of Madison, Wisconsin comes in as the points leader, and here's how the heat race will line up. On the pole from Kewaskum, Wisconsin, the UFO, that's Cade Yeager. The UFO 2, I should say, that's Cade Yeager. To the outside from Pella, Iowa, the 52 of Knox Peterson. Row number 2 on the inside, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. That's Landon Supri. To the outside from Birchwood, Wisconsin. That's the 2A of Audrey Traceth. Third and final row from Menominee, Wisconsin, the 29, that's Caleb Kropp. And to the outside, there's your points leader from Madison, Wisconsin, the UFO of Holden Harder. Harder and Yeager in the UFOs. I believe that actually is Brody Conkey out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin in that UFO 2. Conkey came in as second in the point standings, not Yeager. Warm-up laps as they wind the motors up, get the engines up to temp, and then we'll line them up and go green flag racing for 8 laps. It says Yeager in the UFO 2 and Peterson in the 52. That's your front row. Row 2 should have Landon Supri in that 99 JR. There it is. And then the 2A of Audrey Traceth and Caleb Kropp and Holden Harder. And here we go. Green flag for 8 laps in 125, 250 wing. Peterson quickly out to the lead and opens up a sizable advantage, and here come the UFOs. No, literally not the flying saucers. We're talking about these wing carts. Yeager and Harder. Harder quickly from the back row, started in the 5th position and has already worked his way into 3rd now. Now into 2nd. Holden Harder, your points leader, coming in. came in with a 40-point advantage, but with double points up for grabs tonight, every spot is important. Peterson all by himself out front in that 52. Peterson, Harder, and Yeager. And the 99 of Supri. Peterson coming to the white flag. 1 to go. Final time around for Knox Peterson. Peterson driving away with it. Takes the outside of the front row and puts it in victory lane in the heat race. Followed by Harder, Yeager, Supri, Crop, and Trayson. $125-250 wing finishing up their heat race. That'll bring us to the first of our micro sprint heats. As they come to the Speedway and line them up. 18 drivers signed in tonight in the micro sprint division. So we should have one great main event. Here's how they'll start. From Otter Creek, Wisconsin, on the pole, that 23, that's Kelly Cost. To the outside, from River Falls, Wisconsin, the C71, that's Carter Jensrud. Row number 2 on the inside, from Menominee, Wisconsin, the 4T7, that's Tim Christensen Jr. The outside, from Indianola, Iowa, the 6DM, that's Marshall Dawson. Third and final row, from Granger, Indiana, the 14 of Cameron Marcia. And the outside, from Elko, Minnesota, the 18R, that is Leighton Rose. Cost, Jensrud, Christensen, Dawson, Marcia, and Rose. Ready to do battle. 8 laps, micro sprint, heat race number 1. And walk around the graphics just a minute on our live broadcast. Carter Jensrud has the advantage over Cost, Christensen, and Rose, and now Rose quickly up into the second spot. Apologize, there we go. Apologize for those who are watching on MBTV. The lineup up a little bit longer than we thought it would be, but everything's good. Jensrud and Rose stay 1 and 2. Cost is third. Marcia in the 4th spot. Trouble for Christensen. Slowed a minute. Now he is coming to the infield. You can see that micro sprint was slowing, and he just tried to stay out of everybody's way. Now got another one slowing, and I believe we've got a caution. Yes, we do. We have a caution flag on the Speedway. We've had a couple of them now pull off. I believe that's Dawson's 6DM that also has joined Christensen's 4T7 in the field. The Doan Farms C71 of Carter Jensrud out in front. Yeager came in as the points leader, 18 in front of Wagner, Willing, Dawson, and Rose. Carter is the points leader in the Gopher Midget series, and we'll see them in a little bit.
Sorry about leaving the lineup on there a little bit of a long time there at the beginning. I was trying to fix one of our MBTV Sports.com, the live view. Let's just say I was working on connecting that, and I left the dang lineup up, so I apologize to you watching out there on MBTV.
All right, everybody working the high side. That's all right. We're able to follow along, and still got ourselves 3 laps to go in this one. 5 laps are down of the 8-lap heat race, and we're back to green as they come off the high side in turn 4. Jansrud around the corner. Big slide job by Rose, but he couldn't quite get there. Yeah, Jansrud and Rose running the high side. Kelly Koss running in that third spot in the 23 in a battle with the 14 of Cameron Marsha. We were talking about these wing carts, the micro sprints, the midgets, how close they would push it to that cushion and the wall. Checkers come for Jansrud as he will pick up the win, followed by Rose, Koss, Marsha, and Dawson here in heat race number 1. Known Farms C71 of Carter Jansrud, your winner in the first heat in micro sprints. Second heat race coming up, and here it is. From Potosi, Wisconsin, on the pole, that's the 27C, that is Jeff Friedrich. To the outside, the 13M from Indianola, Iowa, that's the 13M of Riley Daughton. Row number 2, he's currently second in the point standings from Welcome, North Carolina, the 8W of Jaden Wagner. To the outside, from St. Michael, Minnesota, the 100A, that is Alyssa Eddy. Third and final row on the inside from Wheeler, Wisconsin, the 99, of Bentley Halapka. And to his outside from St. Cloud, Minnesota, the 10, that is Owen Henricks. Friedrich and Dawson, Wagner and Eddy, Halapka and Henricks. Heat number 2 in micro sprint. Remember, we have 18 drivers entered. Got a couple that we're trying to pull out of the infield. Christensen's 4T7.
Go ahead. Get up the hill and I'll raise it. Okay.
Second of 3 heat races. And here they come to warm up. Friedrich, Dawson, Wagner, Eddy, Halapka, Henrich. For 8 laps around this 1/6-mile oval. Field forming up. 2 by 2. Let's see if we go green this time. Field accelerates and we're going green. Friedrich trying to battle with Dawson. Friedrich on the outside. You can see that high line carries a little more speed. You see those guys make that slide job move from the bottom to the high side. Dawson just about completed it there. Let's see if he can get it this time. Nope. Friedrich's able to hang on to him again in that green 27. Don't look now, but here comes Wagner. Wagner in that black and orange 8W. He's currently second in the point standings, and now he's got Dawson for second. Wagner can really wheel it. Here he comes. Closing in on Friedrich for the lead. Halfway home. Just past halfway. It'll be 2 to go this time by. 2 more laps. Wagner trying to close in on Friedrich. Friedrich able to hold him off in that 27C. Coming to what will be the white flag this time. 1 to go. Wagner again closing the gap, but Friedrich is able to power him by. Wagner one more time off at full. Won't get there. Jeff Friedrich will win the heat. Friedrich's going to win it, followed by Wagner. Friedrich just hangs on. Wagner gave him a run, but Friedrich was able to pick up the victory. Wagner comes home second, then Dawson, Henricks, Halapka, and Eddy. third and final micro sprint heat race coming up. Here's how they'll start on the pole from Hudson, Wisconsin. That's the 3J of Brandon Friedrich. On the outside of the front row, that's Jackson Girardi in that 46G. Row 2, Paul Residillo in the X and Marshall Willing, the 128. Derek Girardi and Cade Yeager in that third and final row. Friedrich's out to the early advantage. Can he hang on to it? Going to get a lot of challenge. Here comes Willing. Willing in the 128 down to the bottom. Friedrich in the middle. Yeager on the outside. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Willing's got the lead on the bottom in the 128. Then Friedrich and Yeager. Now Yeager on the bottom. Yeager trying to find a way around. Back up to the high side. Looking for that move. Here he comes again. Friedrich able to hold him at bay. Willing still your leader on the bottom. Now Yeager gets through with a slide job. Yeager gets through as well. Now Rosadillo moving in that X. Here comes Yeager now to the race lead. Yeager and Willing off of 4. Yeager to the race lead. Willing back to second now. Willing has run the bottom the entire time. Yeager way up high. White flag lap. Cade Yeager in that UFO. Off of 4. Checkers will wave and Yeager will win it. Cade Yeager in the UFO picks up the win. Came in as the points leader, ahead of Wagner, both with good runs in heat races. It will come down to the feature for them. Remember, it's double points night, Alumni Night, and our Timber Inn Bar and Grill season championship of our QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series for 2026. Go for Midgets to the Speedway, and here they come. Leading them to the racetrack and leading them to the start of the green flag is the points leader. That'll be Carter Jensrud in the C71. He'll start alongside of him will be the 97, that is Cam Schaefer. Row number 2, inside is the 19 of Jack Berger. To the outside, the 55 of Ryan Bowers. Row number 3 on the inside, the 56 of Bill Johnson. Scheduled to start on the outside of that third row is the 5 of Kirsten Koss. We'll see if Kirsten makes the go because, remember, she had a terrible flip in the heat race, in the hot lap session, and did some damage to that car. Hopefully the crew was able to repair it. We'll see if she can make it back. And then starting at in the 4th row will be the 30 of Matt Johnson. Jensrud and Schaefer, Berger and Bowers, Johnson and Koss, and then Johnson. Four-wheelers, the push vehicles for these Gopher Midgets. Like a sprint car, got to pop the clutch, fire the motor, and off you go. The Gopher Midgets Racing Series will be on the road next Thursday night. No races here at Thunder Hill, but the Gopher Midgets will be down the road in Worthington, Minnesota at the Worthington Speedway for another one of their all-sprint show on Thursday night, August the 27th. So this coming Thursday, you'll see the Gopher Midgets as a traveling series, along with some 360 sprints and micro sprints. All right, the Call is going out for the field to line up. Double file. Jensrud, Schaefer, Berger, Powers, Johnson, Koss, and Johnson, no Koss. So Kirsten unable to get that 5 ready to go for the heat race. Maybe whatever they need to get done, they can get going and get her back for the main event. So the Doan Farm C71 of Carter Jensrud alongside of the 97 of Cam Schaefer. Here they come. Picking up the speed. Green flag goes off of 4. Jensrud slides them down the bottom. It's Berger at 19. Jack trying to stick that bottom and make it work for him if he can. That's the short way around. Jensrud still holds the advantage, but Berger's right there in second. Schaefer runs third. And Bowers in the 55. Jensrud came in as the points leader. And on double points tonight, he came in with a sizable advantage, but never going to take anything for granted. You can see him bouncing a little bit as he gets up in that high side off of 3 and 4. Jensrud, Berger, Schaefer, Bowers, and Johnson, your top 5. Berger continues to run that bottom of the racetrack. You can see Jensrud all the way up at the top of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Berger's right down there on the bottom. He's running that off camber on the inside, the short way around this speedway. So far, he's been able to hang on to the 2 spot, but here comes Schaefer. Schaefer trying to close the gap and take that 2 spot away. Schaefer off the high side, up alongside of Berger. Checker's going to wave. Can Berger hang on? No, Schaefer will get the 2 spot on the final pass as they come to the checkered flag. Jensrud wins it. Schaefer finally able to get past Berger and move into second. Jack will wind up third. Bowers comes home in the 4 spot. And then Bill Johnson winds up in 5th. Got one getting a little assist out of the infield. And a reminder as we get our rookie cage carts back out on the speedway for their main event before we get to intermission. Again, it's all about laps for these guys. It's not about trophies. It's not about speed records. It's not about points championships. Those titles all come in the future. It's how do I learn to drive this cart, to get used to the harness, the seatbelt. This is a full harness on these carts. It's a 5-point harness. Kids get buckled in. They're as safe as anybody. So second go round for our rookie cage feature. And there are 4 drivers. There were 4 before. The 7, that is Nolan Walensky. There is Tucker Christensen's 4T7. The 36 of Rowdy Junker, and that 21 of Abner Lingen. Future of racing starts with these youngsters as they learn how to drive these go-karts. They run a bit of a different motor than you will see on some of the others that limits their speed, makes it perfect for learning. Tucker Christensen, right there, the 44T7. There's Rowdy Junker in that number 36, down the back straightaway. Alumni Night, double point season championship. Our quality freight rate storm series wraps up for 2026. Timber Inn Bar and Grill and T&K Fireworks sponsoring tonight's championship main events here at Thunder Hill. There's one Nolan Walensky in that number 7. Walensky. These guys, you can see that this isn't the first time they've ever run, and this is a fairly good-sized track for these youngsters to be on. But nobody's having any kind of issues. They're not they're not wiggling too far. They're not sliding any. So everybody's under control. They're running at their pace. It's a matter of just timing and turning laps. That's all it is. You learn this sport by driving, and I know how these karts are. I have a couple of 22-year-old granddaughters who started. One of them who started in a go-kart when she was 6 years old, and now she drives a tri-state late model, traveling across the upper Midwest. In fact, those guys will be at Rapid Speedway in Rock Rapids, Iowa tomorrow night. Checkered flag will wave as we bring our rookie cage karts to a conclusion.
Intermission now?
And now we should be, let's see, are we putting everybody in victory lane or are we heading them off? Normally we put them all in victory lane to celebrate, get pictures. Yep, there we go. All right, getting everybody slowed down, under control. Moms and dads there, and now our track officials will navigate them toward the Timber Inn Bar and Grill, victory lane, and we will get a chance to see each of them as they get their pictures taken. Intermission time here at the Speedway as the rookie cage drivers all head for victory lane. So now's a perfect opportunity. You've been sitting for a little bit. Time to stretch the legs, hit the concession stand, get you something cold to drink, hot to eat, candy maybe, a little chocolate or something, popcorn. Time to hit the concession stand. All right. Got a couple of our drivers there. Got 3 of them, just waiting for the last. Everybody's got a little trophy. What do they say? My trophy's better than... No, I don't know. All right. Last of our rookie cage drivers. There we go. Everybody has made their way to the Timber Inn Bar and Grill victory lane tonight for their awards. And how about a nice big hand for the future of our racers, our rookie cage, as they celebrate their season finale. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to intermission time. All that remain are our championship finals and the points championships to be awarded in each of the remaining classes, starting with our box, and then concluding with our Go for Midget series as the rookie cage drivers all get back to karts and will make their way off the Speedway. Again, the track crew will go to work, a little bit of track prep. You have an opportunity to take a few steps, walk over to the concession stand, check it out, get yourself a little bit of something, and then settle back in for what should be some tremendous racing here tonight in our season championships. Remember, the next two classes coming up start 14 drivers, and our micro sprint final has 18 in it. So we have some pretty impressive classes as part of the championships here tonight. Again, the track crew will go to work. We'll take a minute to thank our sponsors. As we said, tonight's QualityFreightRate.com Soaring Series Season Championship. It's Alumni Night and double points for the season finale. Tonight's event is sponsored by Timber Inn Bar and Grill and T&K Fireworks, aka 10 Boom Boom. So we'll look forward to maybe a little pyrotechnic when all is said and done here tonight. I thank all of our sponsors for a tremendous season. As we wrap things up with the championship here tonight, the big banners on the back fencing from Johnson Motors of Menominee, Eau Claire Diesel Service, from Eau Claire, A&M Fiberglass, and Lewis Bjork Septic Service. All of our sponsors along the front wall that you see each and every week here at the Speedway. Take note of those folks. They don't have to buy that billboard. It's something they choose to do to support the young men and women who participate in racing at this beautiful facility, and so they take a little bit of pride in the fact that their name is on the front straightaway at this racetrack. So take note of those, and we thank them for all that they have done for us all year, starting with Menominee Flooring Center, your local State Farm insurance agent, Dave Jorgensen, Southside Body Shop, J&K Concrete, Coyotes Den Bar and Grill, Goodrich Trailer Sales, Hoffman Homes, Hollywood Wellness, Key Chevrolet. Well, you know what you get there, right? Key Chevrolet. TNT Construction, Olson Funeral Home, Kohler's Diesel Repair, Polish Enterprises, Fleet Farm, Haas Enterprises, K2 Racing Suits, sponsored by Ryan Bowers from our Gopher Midget series, Quality Auto Body, TMS Tire and Auto, Old World Meats from Duluth, Minnesota, Doan Farms, Red Cedar Speedway, Conrad's Auto Salvage, Dick's Fresh Market, TL Sins Plumbing, GRP Motorsports, Accurate Construction, Cedar Lake Speedway, and Culver's Menominee, all along the front right there. Thanks as well to our crew from MBTV Sports for the live coverage each and every week promoting racing and this racetrack. And we look forward to a huge event coming up in just 2 weeks' time. What will be the AJC National Championships, the Midwest Karting Grand Nationals, the Thunder Hill Wing Nationals, and the Midwest Micro Showdown at Thunder Hill Speedway Labor Day weekend. It starts, like always, on Thursday.
Testing.
Thursday is our race day here at Thunder Hill, and we're looking forward to that.
Testing.
It
1,
starts
2.
on Thursday with our non-wing. Sounded really good. We start with a non-wing event at 5 o'clock on that Thursday night, September the 3rd. Non-wing micros, non-wing outlaw 500s, non-wing BP, non-wing R-Box. You'll see the same BP wing and R-Box wing cars without the wing that Thursday night. We'll put the wings back on for Friday and Saturday. We have the non-wing 125-250 class, non-wing mod intermediate, and then we have a dirty tire challenge, which if you're not familiar with the dirty tire challenge, drivers and crews are given a set of tires before the races begin They cannot do anything to that set of. They know what the set of tires is. Can't do anything to them. You can't prep them. You can't wipe anything on them. You can't make them. You can't groove them. Can't do anything. That's why it's called the Dirty Tire Challenge, and we'll see it in 3 different classes. Junior 1, that's the youngest of our go-karts. Again, you sound great.
Hey, Dean.
Yes,
Can
Mark. I'm Matt. I can hear you just fine. Where are you at?
Buddy. We're here.
Who are you interviewing this week?
If I can get this thing going, see if we can hear. Hang on. I think I might have to turn this. I got to turn this up real quick. You go ahead, Dean. Keep talking about
okay,
for 1 more minute.
You sound good to me. But that'll be Thursday, starting at 5 o'clock with practice, and then racing will follow. Then Friday is an all-day event here at the Speedway. We're talking about the Grand Nationals coming. That'll be the AJC National Championships during the day. You'll see flat carts in all ages. The rookies will be in a regular flat cart and the rookie cage. You'll also see the Junior 1 and Junior 2 drivers by age, along with adult drivers, and our Sportsman. And then that night, again at 5 o'clock, we'll start practice again. This time, it will be wings on everything, with the exception of the micros. And again, that one on Friday night is a $6,000 to win race. $6,000 to win micro race on that Friday night of the 4th of September. They'll run the non-wing micro showdown. We'll have the Outlaw 500 wing preliminary night, BP wing preliminary, the RBOX wing prelim, 125 250 wing prelim.
All right, Dean.
Excuse me,
hey, Dino.
And then the intermediate wing. Yes, Matt.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here real quick.
I see you.
Night. If I can get this microphone, if this thing works, we'll find out here shortly. Hey, all right. Anybody and everybody that's here at the racetrack, is there anybody in that actually raced here at one point in their career life? Anybody here sitting in the grandstand, probably by Chad's mom and dad?
You're talking about alumni.
How about any other? Is there any alumni here tonight? Obviously, I love the idea of an alumni night for obvious reasons. It's always fun to see some of the old racers that raced here at one time to come back. Obviously, this is, I think, our 3rd year of doing the alumni night. Not exactly been done exactly like we hope, but all of this stuff takes time to develop. And little by little, we are getting better at a lot of the stuff that we are doing. Some things may have. But anyways, where's an alumni? Where do we have some? Who've raced here once in the past? Anybody? Raise your hand. Nobody? Well, we got a racer here. Hang on. Let's talk to him. Turn around so the camera's got you. Paint Rose. Where are you from? Newmarket. Okay, Elko Newmarket. Come a long way. Rumor has it, he's heard some rumors. You raced on the asphalt. Tell me about your career. When did you start, and what have you done, and how did you end up Speedway?
So I started back in 2019 racing quarter midgets with asphalt for my whole life.
Hold on. Pause this. Put them things off. You stay right here. Dean, take it for a second. I'm going to crank this up a little bit.
All right.
I'll be right back.
This is going to be a good story. Leighton's going to tell us all about quarter midgets and now how he has worked his way through the micro sprint division, and we're going to see him in the final tonight. He has had a pretty good season.
Testing 1, 2.
In that micro.
Are you peg, Mark?
He is currently 5th in the point standing, but it's really only 70 points. And remember, tonight is double points night here at the Speedway as part of our Alumni Night and our Timber Inn Bar and Grill T&K Fireworks Championship Night, the 7th and final of our QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series races. Oh, you got an alumni. All right.
I'm coming back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Try this. Can you guys hear? Now let's see what happens when I put it in front of Leighton. Otherwise, we're going to the trailer. Tell us about your career, bud.
So I started back in 2019 racing quarter midgets at Little Oco Speedway. And then I went national tour racing for the last 2 years, and I got the opportunity to race in the Petty Performance Edge program. And that was 148 drivers, sorry. And I made it down to the top 2 for a free ride in the Tulsa Shootout with Chad Boat and Jerry Petty. And it led me to dirt racing.
Give him a round of applause, everybody. Thank you so much. Here. Now, apologize. Wow, this microphone's. I'm taking this gentleman. Let's turn around a little closer to the camera. Apparently.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, tell me, sir, what's your name?
My name is Al Borgeson.
L. Volgeson. Borgeson. Any relation to the Borgeson? You are. I could tell. Your brother raced late models and everything else, right? At Cedar Lake?
Super stocks.
Super. Yep. You race as well?
Yes.
Okay, tell me now. Rumor has it you said you when did you race here?
32 years ago, when this track first opened, we were here for the opening day.
Opening day 30 years ago. And Al Borgeson was one of the first ever to race here at Thunder Hill Speedway. Everybody give Al a round of applause because he's here tonight. I do apologize about the audio. Al, what are you doing now?
Not racing.
Not racing. You're sitting in the grand tipping some cold beverage, right?
That is correct.
Well, now, how long, who are you for? Why are you here for Alumni Night?
No, to do.
Just something to do. Now, where do you reside?
In Wisconsin, and been there for 30 years.
Al, thank you so much. Obviously, it's neat for us to have the alumni here. Thanks for stopping and talking to us. I really appreciate it. I wish my was a little bit better. We'll work on that.
I do have one story to tell. I hold the distinction to be the first driver to roll a go-kart over on this track.
You rolled on the track?
Yes. Yep.
Did you get hurt?
Ego. I had things that hurt I didn't know I had. So.
How many years did you race here at Thunder Hill?
1 year here, and then we went racing super stocks.
Gotcha. Now, how many of the Borgesons race now? Because I know Cody's still racing, correct?
Just Cody would be my nephew. Right. My brother raced for 25 years. I raced for 2.
It's really neat. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you so much for stopping up. You know, we're we're definitely developing this whole thing out here. We got a wonderful crowd. Chad's made a lot of changes to this place since you raced.
Yeah, there's walls now.
There sure is, and they are a little intimidating out there, is what I hear. Thank you very much. Everybody, Dean, I'll send it back up to you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody, and we appreciate everybody for being a part of Timber Inn Bar and Grill, T&K Fireworks, Alumni Night. It's our 7th and final QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series event. It's championship night. It's double points. Every championship essentially is up for grabs with double points. So guys are going to try to protect those leads they have coming in. And so far, the guys at the top of the points battles have looked the part through the heat races. And now can they perform when it comes to the championship main event. Up first for us will be our R-Box final, and looks like it's just about ready to roll to the Speedway, and here it comes. Let's give you the starting lineup. In R-Box, on the pole will be the 34 of Brantley Langer. To the outside, he's currently number 1 in the point standings with a 56-point advantage. That's the 4 of Luke Pettit. Row number 2 on the inside, the 22, that is Dirks LeBlanc. To the outside, the 5S, that's Sammy Pettit. Row number 3 on the inside, the 88E, that is Barrett Evans. To the outside, the 3J of Paxton Friedrich. Row number 4 on the inside, the 19X of Onyx Webb. To the outside, the 17 of Josiah Hoffbeck. Row number 5 on the inside, the 21 of Jack Smith. To the outside, the 19H, that's Henrik Holrud. Row number 6 on the inside, the 60 JR, that's Mila Baker. To the outside, the 22T, that is Theo LeBlanc. Final starting row on the inside. They had trouble in the heat race, couldn't get the motor to run. Hopefully all is well. The 13, that is Julian Logslet, and to his outside will be the 12 of Carter Knudsen. So that is your scheduled starting lineup. This is 12 laps the distance. Langer and Pettit, LeBlanc and Pettit, Evans and Friedrich, Webb and Hoffbeck, Smith and Holrud, Baker and LeBlanc, Logslet and Knudsen. Final carts moving into position. This is R-Box. Again, in the points, Luke Pettit out of Winona, Minnesota has the points lead by 56 over Derek LeBlanc from Downsville, Wisconsin. And Onyx Webb is 92 points back from Eau Claire. Then Theo LeBlanc is 4th, 107 points back. And then Sammy Pettit is 5th, 110 points back. 12 laps, R-Box, ready to roll. Off of 4, going green, and the field fans out down the front straightaway. Side by side, Langer and Pettit into turn 1 and out of 2, down the back straightaway, still door handle to door handle. Pettit now going to take the slight advantage. Pettit, Langer, and LeBlanc running 1, 2, and 3. Friedrich in the 4th spot. Now LeBlanc to the inside on Langer. Derek LeBlanc moving into that, Dirks LeBlanc moving into that 2nd spot. Luke Pettit now pulling away out front. Pettit, LeBlanc, Langer, Friedrich, Evans, Friedrich. Barrett Evans moving forward. 4 laps down, it's Luke Pettit out front and opening up the advantage. It's over a second and a half. Oh, look out, Friedrich gets tagged. Somehow keeps it going straight, but I think that motor has died. And I think that was a caution. Now he's still rolling. He stays green, but we have gone to the caution for Friedrich. Friedrich pinball. If you're watching on MBTV Sports, watch this. Pettit clips the front, then Logswet clips the other side of the front, and then Hoffbeck gets him again and straightens him out. He was going to the left, then back to the right, then back to the left, and was able to slow it down, get it stopped on the back straightaway, give it an assist, get it refired, and pull back in. That's a tough break for Friedrich. Paxton had been running in the 6th spot with 4 laps down.
Dean, if you happen to notice the red shirts that have been running around in the grandstands here during intermission, you may have saw them. Those are the Timber Inn, the sponsor for tonight. They own the restaurant just 7 miles due west of Thunderhill Speedway. Everybody, let's give Timber Inn a big round of applause for all of their support, their sponsorship, helping everybody here in the grandstands. Make sure you swing by the Timber Inn, pick up dinner one of these days. Tell them thanks a bunch for all they do for Thunderhill Speedway.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about that a little bit, that during intermission, you see the billboards on the front straightaway. You don't think about it all the time. But somebody spent a little money, they had somebody design, take their logo, put it on that billboard, and put it out there. The money goes to the track, ends up in a points fund or improvements for the racing facility, whatever the case may be, wherever it's needed. And, you know, we appreciate those guys that are always being a part of the racing program, even if you're not in a business that has anything to do with racing, has nothing to do with it. You're looking at a lot of the sponsors on many of these carts, they don't have anything to do with racing. They're farms or trucking companies or grocery stores or banks or car dealers. All right, looks like we're about ready to restart. There's your front 4. Pettit, LeBlanc, Langer, and Evans. Barrett Evans moving up, and we're back to green. And a caution comes right out again. That's Hoffbeck. Josiah 17 is down to the bottom of turn number 4. And so we do not get a lap in. We stay at 4 laps complete. Lou Pettit, followed by Dirks LeBlanc, Brantley Langer, Barrett Evans, and then Sammy Pettit. So it's Pettit 1, Pettit 5 in this lineup. Front 4 is set there. Here comes Sammy. That's Holyrood in that 19H and would be next. Then Webb. So the two 19s are back to back. Holyrood in the black 19. Webb in the green and black 19X. Holyrood's 19H. There's Webb, followed by Logset. Julian Longsled behind Webb. Then looks like it'll be Knutson, LeBlanc, and then Hoffbeck. There's Theo pulling the 22T up, and then Knutson in the 12, and then here there's Jack Smith and Mila Baker. Alright, field has been realigned. And we'll look to go back to green. Remember, we have completed just 4 laps of our scheduled 12. Luke Pettit trying to knock down the championship here in 2026. He was 3rd a year ago, behind Henry Junker. Pettit, 5 wins on the season this year in the 6 events. The other time he didn't win, he was 2nd, so he has really dominated. Now log sled moving. Inside on Sammy Pettit. That's into the top 5 now in 5th. Halfway home, 6 down. Working on lap 6 here. 6 to go. Pettit, LeBlanc running 1-2 in the points and 1-2 in the racetrack. Can Dirks find a way to get around Luke Pettit at the front? Hand him just his 2nd loss of the year. Pettit maintains the advantage with LeBlanc in the mix. Pettit, LeBlanc, Langer, Evans, log sled. Your top 5. Log sled now closing up on Barrett Evans. This would be the battle for 4th. Julia has come from well back in this field in that 13 and trying to pick up another spot in the top 5. Comes into the night 6th in the point standings. Pettit all by himself and now working his way through lap traffic around Mila Baker. To the checkers he comes and will wrap up the win and the season championships. LeBlanc will come home 2nd, Langer 3rd, Evans will hang on for 4th, and log sled will come home in the 5 spot. Everybody coming by to congratulate one Luke Pettit, Winona, Minnesota, your 2026 R-Box season champion. He wins here on championship night, his 6th win of the year for the young man from Winona, Minnesota. My goodness, what a dominating season. Came in with a 56-point advantage over LeBlanc, 92 over Webb, 107 over Theo LeBlanc, and Sammy Pettit was 110 back. So 5th place was 110 points behind. So talk about having it all put together. Luke Pettit certainly had that. Pettit climbing out. Checkered flag in hand. Here he comes. You know where he's going. All the way to the wing. There he is. Having a nice hand. Luke Pettit, your feature winner and season champion for 2026.
Hey, Dean, I was just made aware by the Timber Inn people that, hey, this Saturday is Downsville Days.
This Saturday.
And Chris Cruzy, who was on The Voice, a Wisconsin native, will be playing live free Saturday between 2 and 5:30. So Chris Cruzy's going to be there. Great music,
wow.
Great venue. You know, the whole event starts at 8 o'clock in the morning with a little pancake breakfast. They got bounce houses for kids. They got a parade, fireworks at the end of the day, all kinds of great stuff. So definitely take in a day over there at in Downsville. Make sure you swing in to Timber Inn and grab yourself a cheeseburger.
Going to be great. Going to be a good old time. Just look fun on Saturday. All right, here we go. Let's crown another champion tonight. This is our BP Wing final. They start like this on the pole with your current points leader from Randolph, Minnesota. That's the 14 of Archer Hoffbeck, who is outside. That's Otto Erickson in that 32. Row number 2 on the inside. Oakley Booth in the 16 to the outside. The 3J of Jonathan Pettit III. Row number 3 inside. The 8 of Alan Byrne to his outside. The 36 of Henry Junker. Row number 4 on the inside. The 60 out of Moy, Wisconsin. That's Lane Baker. The outside. The 7 DJR. That is Kinsley Schmuntz out of Menominee. Row number 5. From Menominee, the 7S, that's Easton Schultz, alongside of Brandon Harper Halapka. And we are off and running, going green, green, green. Hoffbeck and Pettit, 1 and 2. Booth and Erickson settle into second and third. Pettit looking for the early lead. Already had one Pettit in victory lanes, and we had another. Jonathan comes in 19 points behind Hoffbeck. So with double points online, he could certainly win the championship by winning this main event, even if Hoffbeck winds up second. Now Booth trying to close on Hoffbeck in the battle for second and third. Jonathan Pettit III starting to open up just a little bit of an advantage, 3/4 of a second on the stopwatch. In front of Hoffbeck. Booth and Erickson running 2, 3, and 4, couple of kart lengths apart, coming out of turn 4. Alan Byrne now in the 5 spot, trying to gain if he can. Pettit all by himself up front. Byrne now closing on Erickson. That would be for 4th. Allen came into the ninth, 3rd in the point standings, just 32 points behind Hoffbeck. And right now, Hoffbeck is watching that points lead disappear as Jonathan Pettit III is cruising through this field, working his way through lap traffic. Pettit all around on the outside. Hoffbeck now trying to gain a little bit of ground, working through traffic. Booth still runs 3rd. Erickson runs 4th, and that front 4 have spread out just a little bit now as they've gone through lap traffic. Down the final couple. Caution will come out. That's the 44 of Reese Smith, I believe. No, it's Levi Anderson. The wrong 44 I'm thinking of. It's Levi Anderson's 44 there. Motor died. Levi gets one pull. It refires quickly, and Levi will go to the back. Now, how will that affect this? We have 2 laps to go, so it's basically a green-white checker. Jonathan Pettit III has been your leader since lap 1. Hoffbeck 2nd, Booth 3rd, Erickson 4th, Byrne 5th. Then Junker and Schmuntz, Baker, Giraji, Halapka, Stevens, Schultz, Malgrim, and Anderson. All right, ready to go. Green-white checker here in BP Wing. Jonathan Pettit. Off the start. Booth gets the inside line on Hoffbeck. Booth trying to get into the 2 spot. Booth gets there. Coming will be the white flag. Following out, Booth way out wide. Hoffbeck back into 2nd. Pettit's going to win it. Booth. Pettit's going to have a chance to win it here. Coming off of 4, he will. Hoffbeck home 2nd. Booth and Junker and Byrne, your top 5. Jonathan Pettit III winds up headed to our Timber Inn Bar and Grill Victory Lane tonight. And we'll have to see whether or not, I'll have to wait and see when the points total are tabulated, whether or not the double points was enough, with Hoffbeck finishing 2nd Pettit finishing first, was that enough for him to claim the season championship? He certainly gets the win tonight, but I don't know about the season championship and the points, how that shakes out. I'll let the scorers handle that. And then we'll... So back-to-back features go to the Pettits of Winona, Minnesota. Luke wins R-Box. And Jonathan wins BP. And both those guys will be favorites for that big Labor Day Wing Nationals here at Thunder Hill. That Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It'll be non-wing on Thursday, then back to the wings. Friday, preliminary night. Saturday, championship. So just like the Knoxville Nationals, you get the prelim on Friday, you get the main event on Saturday. A lot of money up for grabs. All right, out he comes. JP3. JP3 to the checkers and the victory lane. There we go. Jonathan Pettit III is your feature winner in BP Wing. Oh, he put the flag right in her. Oh, man, I can't. He did that on purpose, you know. He saw that guy taking a picture and said, wait a minute, I can put this right in her face. It'll be perfect. Oh, my goodness. What a run. Pettit grabbed the lead and never looked back. All right, it's black card time. It's Sportsman. And the Sportsman will have at it here tonight for their main event. Coming into tonight, Trayton Belchek out of Rock Falls, Wisconsin, that 55 on the outside of the front row, has a 25-point lead on the guy starting next to him. That's Eau Claire, Wisconsin's Jake Johnson. Back row on the inside, that is Rock Falls, Wisconsin's Ashton Henshin. And alongside of Henshin from Menominee, Wisconsin, that's Henry Scholes. 25 points separated Belchek and Johnson coming into this one. This is 12 laps, and we are going green. Belchek way up high, slid back from Johnson, and now here he comes, trying to run him back down. Scholes and Henshin in that battle. Scholes getting a little bit squirrely as he heads down into turn one, but here comes the battle for the race lead and the points championship. Johnson and Belchek. Belchek with a 25-point advantage. Like I said, I think Johnson has to win and have Belchek finish third to realistically grab that points title, but I'll let the scorers handle all the points before it's said and done. These guys are going to go at it and give it everything they've got. Coming around to complete a third of the laps. We're 4 in. Belchek still right there on Johnson. Jake has led the entire way. Belchek right with him, running second. Belchek closes in, a little nudge in the back bumper. Now sticks the nose in. Johnson says not enough. Not enough, my friend. You got to get more of a run there. Belchek tucks back in, goes back to work. Down the back straightaway they come, halfway home. Now 7 down and 5 to go. Jake Johnson has led every single lap so far, but he cannot shake Belchek and hasn't been able to all year. Belchek comes in with 5 wins on the season, and that's how he's gotten the 25-point advantage. But Johnson would like to get one here on championship night, even if it isn't enough points-wise to take the title. A win's a win, and you wind up in victory lane if you can. Coming to 2 to go. Working on lap 10. White flag will be in the air this time by. Johnson still there. 2 carts in front of Belchek. White flag. 1 to go. Final time down the back straightaway. Johnson's going to go wire to wire through 3. Off of 4. Jake Johnson's going to win it. Johnson with the checkers and the win in the Sportsman final. And now he'll have to hope that win is enough that he can close the gap on Belchek in the series points for 2026. Drayton came in 25 points up. He winds up second, but Johnson will get the last lap as he pulls in to victory lane, shuts the motor off, pulls the starter just to get the timing right. Out he comes. Unbuckles the helmet. Now we can hear you. How about a nice hand for Jake Johnson? Your winner tonight in the Sportsman. Johnson picks up the win. Going wire to wire. He run it from the get-go and never gave Belchek a chance. So Jake Johnson out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin picks up the championship win in Sportsman. I believe Trayton Belchek will still have earned enough points that Belchek will capture the season title, but as we said, that goes up to the scores. They'll tabulate it all. It'll be available on my Race Pass or the Thunderhill Speedway website. And we go back to wing racing. This is our Mod BP Wing Intermediate. And they will start like this on the pole from Randolph, Minnesota. That is the 14 of Archer Hoffbeck. To his outside from Trempealeau, Wisconsin, the 8X. That is Alan Byrne. Row number 2 on the inside from Stanley, Wisconsin. The 44, that's Reese Smith. To the outside from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. The 27 of Xander Glemsky. Starting in the 3rd row from Colfax, Wisconsin, the 8. That's Kennedy Klukas. And we're off and running. 12 laps, green flag. Mod BP Wing Intermediate. Teenagers is what that intermediate means. These are 12 to 15-year-olds. Byrne, Hoffbeck, Smith. It's Hoffbeck. Trouble for Reese Smith. He's slowing down into 1 and 2. Smith pulls to the infield. Smith came into the night 8 points behind. Well, that won't help. Hoffbeck now all alone. He was only 13 points back. If Hoffbeck can pull this off, 13 points would double the points. He might be able to claim the championship. Byrne still runs 2nd. Glumsky runs 3rd. Xander came in just 27 points out of the top spot. Running in 3rd for that 27 out of Eau Claire. And then Klukas the 8. Kennedy was 5th in the point standings and only 48 points back. So it's been a close points battle for these guys all summer long. And it concludes here tonight, disappointingly for Reese Smith, who came in 8 points down, but then went out with mechanical trouble just a couple of laps in. Just past halfway, it's Hoffbeck. Out in front of Byrne and Glumsky. Alan Byrne trying to hang on to the points lead. He knows Smith can't catch him, but he knows that Hoffbeck has a chance because there was only 13 points separating them. White flag will be coming. White flag in the air for Hoffbeck. Archer Hoffbeck on his way to the feature win. Off of 4. Checker's gonna fly. Hoffbeck wins it. Byrne comes home 2nd. Glumsky 3rd. Klukas fourth. And for Reese Smith, it was a disappointment. He went out 3 laps in. Hoffbeck, who came into the night 13 points down to Byrne, winds up with the win, is headed for victory lane. And again, it will be one of those that's too close to call as far as the points are concerned. The Randolph, Minnesota driver heads for our Timber Inn Bar and Grill victory lane here tonight on Alumni and Season Championship night. Archer reaches over, he'll pop the kill switch on the motor. Now comes the process of getting all unbuckled, the 5-point harness, helmet comes off, out he comes, checkered flag in hand, around the car he comes, still got the helmet on, up he goes, there he is, Archer Hoffbeck, your winner tonight in my BP wing. Is it more than just the victory? I don't know, the scores will have to tell us. The points will be tabulated. He was 13 behind when he came in to tonight. With double points, it might have been enough. Byrne winds up second, trying to protect that championship points lead in the closest contest of the season. Thanks to Charlie Haley, throwing out a nice compliment on MBTVSports.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube. Our YouTube page is great. Use that YouTube page and check that out constantly. A lot of videos there, not just from here at Thunder Hill, but other go-kart videos that we've covered over the season, and all of them are still available for you there on the YouTube page.
These ones were turning hard, bud.
So it was a tremendous run for Archer Hoffbeck. Up next, it's 45, 250 win final. And here's how they will start. He is the points leader on the pole from Madison, Wisconsin. That's the UFO of Holden Harder. To his outside, he won the heat earlier from Pella, Iowa. The 52 of Knox Peterson. Row number 2 on the inside from Kewaskum, Wisconsin. The UFO 2. That is Cade Yeager tonight. On the outside from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, the 99 JR, that's Landon Supri. Third and final row from Menominee, Wisconsin on the inside, the 29 of Caleb Krupp. On the outside from Birchwood, Wisconsin, that's the 2A of Audrey Treyteth. Warm-up laps underway. Everybody gets it dialed in, and we get ready to line them up and go green. Harder, Peterson, your front row. Yeager and Supri in row 2, and we're off and running, going green, green, green. Down into 1, it's going to be Harder, the points leader. He came in with a 40-point advantage. Peterson was able to handle him in the heat race, but Harder started at the back and wound up second. Harder started this time on the pole and making short work of this one, already with a full second lead on Peterson. Here's the 3-car battle for third, up into that third spot, that 29 of Caleb Krupp. Here comes Cade Yeager in the UFO 2, around Supri in the 99 JR. Krupp, Yeager, and Supri. Up front, it's Holden Harder, all by himself with almost a 2-second advantage here in 125-250. Peterson alone in second with a sizable advantage, about a second and a half back to Yeager, to Kropp, Yeager, and Supri. That battle for third, fourth, and fifth. Caleb Kropp now has opened up the advantage on Yeager. Field getting spread out as Harder. Oh, now Supri is around out of turn 4, and that will bring out the caution with 4 laps remaining. 8 laps are in the books of the 12. Harder, Peterson, Kropp, Yeager, Traceth, and Supri. Supri to the back now in the 99 JR after the spin, after the flat spin out of turn 4. Holden Harder comes in, winning 3 of the previous 6 finals here at Thunder Hill, which has given him that 40-point advantage. Caleb Kropp currently third in the point standings, 53 points back, making a good run here in third as we go back to green. Harder, Peterson, Kropp, Yeager, Supri. Kropp trying to work on Peterson for that second spot as the field now starts to shred out again. Everybody was about a full second apart before the caution, full second plus. Now it's about 3/4 of a second from first to second, second to third, third to fourth. Final time around for Holden Harder. Out of 4, Harder coming, checkered flag wave, followed by Peterson, Kropp. Trouble for Supri out of turn 4 again with a little trouble. The 99 of Landon Supri with a little bit of a issue there. So tonight's 125 250 wing champion is also your 2026 season champion out of Madison, Wisconsin, the UFO of Holden Harder. Harder headed for the Timber Inn Bar and Grill Victory Lane on championship night. Also presented by T&K Fireworks. A little bit of festivities a little bit later on, more than likely, from the folks at T&K. Helmet coming off. Holden coming out. His 4th win of the year will nail down the championship for 2026. There he is. Having a nice hand for Holden Harder, your 125 250 wing champion. He'll win the main event tonight and the season title with his 4th win of the year. Oh, come on, everybody get in the picture. Why does nobody want to get in the picture? Everybody should get in the picture. There we go. We'll send that one, or we'll post it to your Facebook account if you want. Or make sure you get it for a Snapchat or whatever kind of social media, your YouTube page. So Holden Harder, the win tonight in 125 250 wing, and the season championship to go along with it. And that will move us to our biggest field and championship of the evening. This is our micro sprint final. 18 drivers. That's right. I said 18. Ready to go to work, and they start like this. Up front, it'll be Cade Yeager and Leighton Rose on the front row. Yeager is currently the points leader, but only 18 points in front of Jack Wagner. Rose is 5th in the points, 73 points behind Yeager. Row number 2 will be the aforementioned 8W of Jaden Wagner, and the C71 of Carter Jensrud. Row number 3, the 128 of Marshall Willing and the 27C of Jeff Friedrich. Row number 4, the 14 of Cameron Marsha and the 99 of Bentley Halopka. Row number 5, the 23 of Kelly Koss and the 13M of Riley Dawson. The next row, it'll be the 46G of Jackson Jiragi and the 10 of Owen Hendricks. And the final row, in the next row, it'll be the X of Paul Rosildo and the 3J of Braden Friedrichs. The final 2 rows, in the second to the last row, it'll be the 60M of Marshall Dawson and the 100A of Alyssa Eddy. And the final row, the 48G of Derek Jiragi and the 4T7 of Tim Christensen Jr. 18 drivers will go to work for our micro sprint final. Take a minute to thank all of our sponsors again for tonight's racing program and throughout this regular season. Johnson Motors and Eau Claire Diesel Service, A&M Fiberglass and Lewis B. York Septic Service. The big banners on the back wall. The remainder of our track sponsors include Culver's and Cedar Lake Speedway, Accurate Construction and GRP Motorsports, TL Sins Plumbing, Dick's Fresh Market, Conrad's Auto Salvage, Red Cedar Speedway and Doan Farms, Old World Meats, not only a track sponsor, but a video sponsor. And if you're watching on MBTV Sports, you saw the little buy us a cheeseburger logo pop up there. That's just a simple donation. There's a little QR code. You click on it, you fill out forms. It's $5. You'd spend that on a cheeseburger, and it wouldn't be as good as what you're getting from MBTV Sports with the coverage of racing. So buy us a cheeseburger from time to time. TMS Tire and Auto, Quality Auto Body, K2 Racing Suits from Ryan Bowers, Haas Enterprises and Fleet Farm, Polish Enterprises and Kaler Diesel Repair, Olson Funeral Home and TNT Construction, Keys Chevrolet and Hollywood Wellness. Field getting ready to go. One more time, I believe. Let's see if we get the one to go. Yes, we do. One to go. Thank our folks at Hoffman Homes and Goodrich Trailer Sales, the Coyotes Den Bar and Grill, J&K Concrete, Southside Body Shop, your local State Farm agent, Dave Jorgensen, and Menominee Flooring Center, all a part of it. Now it looks like we'll go one more time, kind of working that high side just a little bit. These guys are going to need every inch of this racetrack, this 1/6 mile oval. You'll see some guys set up, they'll run that off camber at the bottom, where it's banked up a little bit. Some guys will be all the way up at the wall. Some guy will run the middle. We'll be 3-4 wide. Here we go. Off the 4. Green flags in the air. Micro sprints for 25 laps. Yeager quickly out to the race lead. With Rose running second, and here comes Wagner. Wagner and Jensrud. Watch this 4. This quartet should be at each other all through this 25 lapper. 2 laps in, it's Yeager, Rose, Jensrud, and Wagner. Wagner came in 18 points behind Yeager. The only way he can make something happen is if he can find his way to the front, and if Yeager would struggle a little bit. Friedrich trying to work his way forward. Here comes Dawson in that 13M. Riley Dawson making the move in that black and white machine. Yeager still holds the advantage. It's about a half a second on Rose. Jensrud is third. Wagner is fourth. Yeager will start to catch lap traffic here in the next lap or two. Yeager trying to work his way through. Now, will the lap traffic play a factor? Oh, a little bit of contact. Jensrud slow. Oh, and Yeager has gone over. The leader is upside down in turn 3. Cade Yeager has flipped it. Safety crews out quickly to check on Yeager. The Kewaskum, Wisconsin driver, they'll slowly ease it back down. You don't want to drop that. It's beautifully done. Tremendous job. The wing gone. Steering wheel flown out of the cockpit. He is hot. Something happened. I don't know if he got caught in lap traffic. He's okay, but he is certainly frustrated. And he knows that second place was only 13 points behind him. That is nothing with double points on the line. He knows the track championship is gone. Oh my goodness, how frustrating for Cade Yeager. 7 laps in, here it comes on MBTV Sports. He clips the lap car, stands it on its nose, up into the catch fence, tears the wing off, back down on his head, sits it on the tail tank, and then down on his side. He made contact with one of those cars he was lapping, up and into the catch fence. That ripped the wing almost all the way off. Down he comes, pirouettes on the tail tank, and then ends up on his side in between turns 3 and 4. Looking at the crew and the track officials and thinking, come on, are you kidding me? We were only 7 laps in. Here it comes again on MBTV Sports. Clips the left rear, or the right rear, of that lap car coming by, up into the catch fence. That tangles the wing up, tears it off, and then down he comes, spins on the tail tank area of that micro. And ends up on his side. Now, everybody's looking at it. Oh, you can see the frustration for Cade. Watch it on MBTV Sports. He knows his championship is there, and now it's not. Points title he held, coming in with 4 wins this season. He was among the dominant cars in this micro sprint division. But he won't be there at the end of the day on championship night. After a tough break, he catches the right rear of a lap car, and that sends him flying into the catch fence, destroys the wing, down on the tail tank and tail of the car, loops it around, and then comes to a final spin, ending up on his side. Tell you what, you're going to want to watch that replay on MBTV Sports even tomorrow. Just sit down, kick that back, watch that thing. What a great job our camera crew did, Mark and the guy Mark and Matt and the crew with MBTV Sports. We love working with these guys. They do a great job, and we have seen some pretty spectacular stuff. That was one right there, but that's a heartbreaker. That's a heartbreaker right there. I mean, that is a heart-wrenching crash for Cade Yeager. He came into the night up front, had led the first 7 laps, was working his way through lap traffic, all looked well, and the next thing you know, he's upside down The wings torn off. Comes out of the cockpit. The steering wheel goes flying. Just sheer disappointment. And so the red flag came out. Now the yellow comes back and the field will start to move again, and our crew will line them up. Looks like Christensen is also coming out. Tim Christensen Jr. in the 4T7. So with Yeager crashing out, that'll give the lead to Leighton Rose out of Elko New Market, Minnesota. We talked to him at intermission time. Quarter midgets on asphalt. Ended up at the Tulsa shootout. Now here he is. Currently 5th in the point standings, just 73 points behind Yeager. Well, he's going to make up a lot of those 73 with Yeager sitting in the infield. Carter Jensrud. Delaware double file restart. Bentley Halapka up there now in 3rd. Rose, Wagner, Halapka and Wagner. Wagner with a points championship in his grasp if he can just stay clean. Down straightaway, Rose in that 18. Halapka in the 99. Halapka dives to the bottom, slide jumps in for the lead, and then Rose right back inside, says not so fast. Halapka with a tap of the tail tank. Here comes Wagner down with a slide jump. Wagner will slide jump. Halapka into 2nd. Halapka right back at him. Wagner says, all right, fine, I'll do it again. Down the back straightaway, wheel to wheel. Door handle to door handle they go. Halapka hanging on to the 2 spot. Rose, Halapka, Wagner 1, 2, and 3. Willing runs 4th. Friedrich is up to 5th. Leighton Rose. Then Bentley Halapka. Then Jaden Wagner. Rose now has opened up just a little bit of an advantage, a half a second. That's what it looks like on the racetrack. 5/10 of a second is right there. What's that, 3 cut lengths maybe? 3.5. Rose slides it through 3 and 4, up high, through lap traffic, around Koss. Around Dawson. And the caution has come out again. And another one upside down in turn 1. Try to pick up a number if we can. Maybe we can see what happened with a replay here in a moment. Friedrich in the 3J is one of the 2 cars that's there, but Friedrich looks like that one's okay. The other car is the one that ended up upside down. Looks like the nose wing has come off on that, which is pretty easy to rip off. Driver's getting up and out. So a nice round of applause there. The driver is out, getting out with the assistance of our safety crew. Tell you what, this safety crew does a marvelous job. They are quickly on the scene. They take every precaution to make sure that they protect the driver at all costs. Cars we can fix. Drivers, not so much. That's a lot harder. again, trying to unravel. Now the driver is up and out, but now sitting down on the race. Now finally the helmet comes off, and I believe, is that Dawson's 6DM? Marshall Dawson's? Nope, that is Jiragi. That is Derek Jiragi's 48G. The 48G of Derek Jiragi out of Ellsworth, Wisconsin, came into tonight 7th in the point standings, just 100 points behind Yeager, will move up significantly as well, or would have, but now with the crash down in turn 1, Jiragi coming off, you can see that front that front tire is just bouncing, but it's just hanging on by the brake lines. That's the only thing there. That thing is broken completely free of that front spindle, and is just hanging there by the brake line for Jiragi. They'll pull it into the infield. Crew will park all the damaged cars in the infield, and then they'll be cleared out at the end of the race. Friedrich certainly looked like he would be able to continue, but now the question is, what about Brandon Jiragi? In that 48, Derek Jiragi in that 48G. Brandon Friedrich was okay, and that 3J should be able to push away. Our officials will check it to make sure that it's all there, but everything looks like it. Again, a reminder, big Labor Day weekend coming up here at Thunder Hill. Tremendous 3 days of competition. It's our Midwest Karting Grand Nationals / AJC National Championships, Thunder Hill Wing Nationals, and the Midwest Micro Showdown, all over 3 days. It starts on Thursday, September 3rd, with non-wing finals in Micro, Outlaw 500, BP, R-Box, 125, 250, Mod, BP Intermediate, and then something you maybe haven't seen before, a Dirty Tire Challenge. A chance for drivers to just pick up a set of tires, bolt them on the grid, and race. No prep, no real adjustments. Then Friday is a full day. On Friday, September the 4th, we'll have kart racing in the afternoon, flat karts. The AJC National Championships will start at 11 o'clock in the morning with practice on Friday morning, and then they'll have qualifying and then main events during the day. Then at night, we'll start practice again at 5 o'clock, and then we'll have the non-wing Micro Showdown, $6,000 to win. Then the preliminary finals in Outlaw 500, BP Wing, R-Box, 125, 250, and intermediate wing prelims. Yeah, I don't know, Chad. That was down in turns 1 and 2. Somebody asking for a replay. Our crew scrambling to see if we have a camera that caught it, but apparently we did not. All right, field is going to get realigned. Again, it is still Leighton Rose, your leader. The Elko New Market, Minnesota. A lot of good racers coming out of Elko New Market in karting, micro sprints. Rose, Halapka, Wagner, Willing, and Friedrich, your top 5. One more time around, the Delaware double file start. The leader himself on the front row. Then everybody else chooses inside or out, and you go according that way the rest of the field. Field a bunch back up. Let's see if we're going this time. Here we... Well, one more time. At least one more time around. Rose, Halapka, Wagner, Willing, and Friedrich, your top 5. Then Riley Dawson and Cameron Marsha, Jackson Jiragi, Owen Hendricks, and Brandon Friedrich, your top 10. Alright, here we go, back to green. Wagner gets a good start. They go 3 wide into 1. Halapka slides up in front of Rose. He takes the lead. Wagner now with a slide job, and Wagner to the race lead. Dawson now in the mix has moved in. We've got 5 cars battling for that top spot. Here comes Dawson. Dawson down on the bottom. Wagner in the middle. Halapka on the outside. Dawson and Halapka running 1 and 2. Halapka, your leader in the 99. On the outside. Dawson on the inside. Wagner runs 3rd. Working our way toward what will be 5 to go this next time by. Bentley, Halapka, Riley Dawson, Jaden Wagner 1, 2, and 3. Rose is falling back to 4th. Friedrich in the 5 spot with 5 to go. Now Wagner coming up on Dawson in the battle for 2nd. Wagner got him on the outside with a power move. Wagner coming. Now Dawson back. Dawson running the bottom. Wagner running the high side. Trading that 2nd and 3rd. Halapka all by himself. It'll be 2 to go this time. 23 down. 2 to go. Halapka coming through lap traffic. Will that have an effect like it did for Yeager? They're coming up on the other Dawson. That's Marshall in that 60M. Halapka, final time. Off of 4. Bentley, Halapka. Wagner, Dawson, Rose, and Friedrich. Halapka gonna win it. Wagner, Dawson, Rose, and Friedrich, your unofficial top 5. And the championship, well, that I would say will go to Jaden Wagner. Trouble for Koss. Kelly out of Otter Creek, Wisconsin, came into the night 8th in the points with a last lap spin. Bentley Halapka out of Wheeler, Wisconsin, was a wheeler dealer tonight. Halapka drives it to the front, and he'll win our 25-lap micro sprint main event. And here comes the crew. What a run for Halapka, the KHE micro sprint. Bentley came into tonight 6th in the points. He was 100 points behind. So not much chance he was going to get there, but Jaden Wagner probably is going to be unofficially your track champion in micro sprint this year, the young man out of Welcome, North Carolina. This youngster, this guy, is put on one driving clinic tonight. He had to fight him off slide job after slide job. Here he comes to the wing. There he is. One Bentley Halapka, your winner tonight in micro sprint. Oh my goodness, what a run. Congratulations, young man. That was some kind of wheel. In and out. When he got up front. All right, everybody, get the whole gang. There we go. Get them all in there. Get the whole fam in. That's a good-looking picture. That's a new profile pic, Bentley. That's your new profile pic right there. Checkered flag, victory lane, championship night. Looking forward to seeing him at that micro sprint showdown in a couple of weeks on Labor Day weekend. Gotta think they're going to be in the mix, whether it's wing or non-wing. Now he gets into the car the easy way, up underneath the wing, to drive it back off and head for post-race. What started out would look like Cade Yeager might be the guy to win it tonight. That all went up in smoke just 7 laps into this 25-lap feature when he clipped the back of a lap car, rolled it up into the fence. Jaeger out, and Halamka took over. Huh?
Just think, he's a rookie. This is his first year in micros. Came out of the junior wing class this year.
Well, you got to look at the competition in that junior wing class and go, okay, that's a good tune-up for this class. That's a good tune-up to move into this.
Tell you what
a run!
It's an incredible sign for what's to come as far as the micro class here. Unbelievable.
Well,
and then
what? Do you stay?
Like that? Wow.
Yeah, and then if you stay in the micros, do you think, well, I got a 305 sitting somewhere that I could go to and run a receiver or receiver sprint, or maybe I tweak it up a little bit and I go 360 sprint car racing, and you find your way to Knoxville or Jackson or Houston or the big tracks around, or eventually 410 Knoxville Nationals. Who knows? Find yourself racing with Kyle Larson and Donnie Schatz and all those guys. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one to go, and these guys are ready to go. It is our Gopher Midget Racing Series season finale, and the Gopher Midgets are on the road next Thursday night. 1 week from tonight, they'll be at the Worthington Speedway in beautiful Worthington, Minnesota, right there on Lake Okabena in southwest Minnesota, about 3.5, 4 hours, about 5 hours away from here, 4.5 hours from Menominee. But we'll have a good showing from down there. The last time we were at Worthington, back in May, there were 17 Gopher Midgets on that show. So we're expecting a really good turnout on Thursday night in Worthington with the Gopher Midget Racing Series. And let's give you the starting lineup as they will come to the green flag here tonight. On the pole is the C71 out of River Falls, Wisconsin. That is Carter Jensrud. Jensrud comes in with a 120-point lead. Keep it out of the fence, and you claim the Gopher Midget Season Championship here at Thunder Hill. To his outside, from Little Canada, Minnesota, the 97, that is Cam Schaefer. Row number 2 inside from Lake Elmo, Minnesota, the 19 of Jack Berger. To the outside from Dalvin, Minnesota, the 55 of Ryan Bowers. Row number 3 on the inside from St. Peter, Minnesota, the 56, that's Bill Johnson. To the outside from St. Peter, Minnesota, the 30, that is Matt Johnson. And scheduled to start in the 4th and final row from Menominee, Wisconsin, the 5 of Kirsten Koss. We'll see whether or not Kirsten has been able to make mechanical repairs to that 5 after a big crash in hot laps at the beginning of the evening. Jensrud, Schaefer, Berger, Bowers, Johnson, and Johnson, not the baby oil people, the racing guys, and Koss. No Kirsten Koss to damage too much on that 5 machine, or the young lady from Menominee to make the start. So 6 drivers for 20 laps. Jensrud, your leader, followed by Berger, Bowers, and Jackson Jiragi in the Gopher Midgets. And we're going green. 3 wide early. Jensrud out quickly. Bowers in the middle. Berger down to the bottom. That's where he ran the entire heat race. He's right back there again, and it's working. Not working on catching Jensrud, but it's working on beating everybody else. Jensrud pushing the limits. Close to that fence on the outside. That's where Bowers is as well. Berger, though, down on the off camber at the bottom. And now he's right even with Jensrud. Now just barely behind him as they come into 3 and 4. Berger trying to grab the lead. Can't quite get there. Carter hangs on, but barely. Berger all over him. Jack Berger trying to wheel and deal his way past Carter Jensrud. And now Jensrud says, wait a minute, has he got something better than I got? Yes, he does, because he's got the lead down the left straightaway. Jensrud tried the bottom and said, nope, that ain't for me. Back to the top he goes. Berger with the advantage. Jensrud now pulls up alongside. He'll make the pass. Can he hang on to it through 3 and 4? Yes, he can. Carter Jensrud back up front. Berger right with him, though. Jensrud running that high line. Berger at the bottom. Halfway home. Just past the halfway mark. Berger's been right there with Jensrud the entire way. Bowers third, Schaefer fourth, then the Johnsons are fifth and sixth. Berger continues to put the pressure on from the bottom of the racetrack. You can see him sawing on the wheel as he works that off-camber bottom. The banking is the opposite direction, but it's banking nonetheless, and those guys can use it down on that bottom, and you can see Jack's been making it work for him all night in the heat race and again here in the main. Gave him the lead for a little bit. He's been right with Jensrud the whole time. Working our way down to the final 5 laps. We got 6 to go here. It'll be 5 to go when they get to the flag stand this time. And Jensrud cannot shake Berger. Carter's thinking, what I got to do to get you away from me here? Just cruise to this one. Inside the final 5, it'll be 4 to go this time, and Berger is still right there as Jack got one last move. Can he steal this one from Jensrud? Bowers and Schaefer in the battle for third. 3 to go. Berger again, right there. Berger within a half a car length. Berger might grab the lead out of the backstretch. A little bounce off the wall for Jensrud. Berger on the bottom. Coming to the white flag. 1 to go. Berger, Jensrud. Berger off the bottom. Can he get there? Jensrud got him. Jensrud gets him by 0.06 of a second. Berger gave him everything he had, and it just about was enough. But Carter nips him at the line. Bowers winds up third. Schaefer fourth. Johnson and Johnson fifth. And our fireworks guys are busy with the big pyrotechnic show here at the end. Our thanks to T&K Fireworks, a.k.a. 10 Boom Boom. Carter Jensrud picks up his 6th win of the season, and with it, the track championship for 2026 here at Thunderhill Speedway in the Gopher Midget Racing Series. And we'll see Carter hopefully in Worthington, Minnesota next Thursday night, along with the rest of these guys. Dome Farm, Steel Brothers, Jensrud Racing, here he comes. Carter Jensrud coming up and out. There he is! Carter Jensrud, your Gopher Midget Racing Series feature and Season Series champion. Jensrud getting the congratulations of the whole gang, the crew, family, friends. Got to get the Hans device off. The safety protection that most of these guys wear. Get that brain bucket off. There he is. Oh, yeah, you better give him a hat. He might have messed his hair up getting the helmet off. Hate for him to... There we go. Gloves coming off. Carter's got the checkered flag. The whole crew's in victory lane. How about it one more time for Carter Jensrud, your series and feature winner. Jensrud wins the track championship in 2026 in the Gopher Midget Racing Series. And hopefully he'll make the drive to Worthington next Thursday night when the Gopher Midgets go on the road. Here comes that final pass on MBTV. Jensrud slowed down just as he comes, gets him by a whisker. I mean, the bumper was all the difference there between Carter Jensrud winning and Jack Berger picking up the victory. Berger was right there. They ran totally different races, and yet for Jack it worked perfectly at the bottom. He used that off-camber at the bottom of the racetrack every single time and was right there. He did lead for one lap in this one, but Jensrud comes away with the final victory and the series championship. Carter pretty well had the series title lined up before we started tonight, coming in 120 points ahead of everybody else. But Jensrud wins the championship and the feature. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our Timber Inn Bar and Grill T&K Fireworks Alumni Night Championship, the final in our QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series for 2026. We look forward to the big Labor Day shootout here at Thunder Hill. It'll start on Thursday, September 3rd, with our non-wing main events in Micro, Outlaw 500, BP, R-Box, 125, 250, Mod BP, and then 3 Dirty Tire Challenges. Then Friday, it's all day, flat carts in the morning and afternoon, wing carts in the evening, including, and you got to think that Bentley Halapka and those guys that we saw in that micro sprint feature tonight are going to be there even without the wing, because there'll be $6,000 on the line Friday night, September the 4th, in that non-wing micro showdown. We'll have wing preliminary finals in 500, BP, R-Box, along with 125, 250, and intermediate. And then Saturday is the finals. Again, it's day racing for the AJC Nationals in the afternoon, starting at 11 in the morning with practice and then qualifying and features. And then the evening will be all of the championship finals, the wing nationals in all those classes. So we look forward to it. If you're watching on MBTV Sports, our thanks to all of our sponsors for providing support to this program. Thanks again, everybody, for being a part of the racing action tonight here at Thunder Hill. Drive carefully on your way home. As I always say, leave the racing at the track. Get home safely so you can come back and be a part of all of the great fun Labor Day weekend. And if you're in the mood for a little road trip next Thursday night, go for Midgets in Worthington, Minnesota. We hope you'll be a part of it. My name is Dave McMartin. I thank you for allowing me in your homes and at your Speedway to be a part of this racing program. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you the next time we get together here on MBTV Sports.
Freight is the backbone of the country. And as long as people need goods, they're going to need somebody to get it to them. My name is Matt Bohl with QualityFreightRate.com, powered by T-Force Worldwide. We provide LTL, truckload, and expedited freight services across this country. If your freight weighs over 120 pounds going over 120 miles, that's where my shipping rates kick in. We help companies ship easier for less. With our system, our customers are able to quote and book shipments with ease 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're having trouble with damages, lost freight, claims of any sort, we can help you with our experience, solve the problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years. We know this industry. We can help all size business, big or small, we love them all. But we have a special spot for small business. Small businesses are pillars in the community. Low rates are critical for a small business because the margins are generally pretty small. They need to have competitive rates. They can't be getting gouged or they lose the sale. Freight is simple. People make it difficult. We work as consultants in the industry, so it doesn't matter what your problem is, we'll solve it. We educate the customers, we solve problems, and we lower their shipping rates. And that's what I've been doing for 28 plus years.
At AmRamp Accessibility, our goal is to help people, and that means providing them with the best quality product and service possible. Built with powder-coated steel, our ramps are stronger and longer lasting than those built with wood or aluminum. Installed in a matter of days to ensure your safety as quickly as possible, our teams are here for you.
I can get out.
Yeah, much easier. Better, a lot better. Yes, right.
I don't even have the words to explain how much easier it is. We're just so thankful for it, so thank you. Thank you very much.
Find your forward with AmRamp Accessibility today. Learn more at amramp.com.
My name is John O'Connor. I'm a snowboarder for life and a business owner in Windham, New York. We run a restaurant and inn here. This is our